I'm Nate Mercer. This is War Brief Daily for July 6th. Over the last 24 hours, 3 developments changed the operating picture. Kyiv took the heaviest strike of the week. Ground lines stayed frozen despite Kremlin claims. And a Red Sea shipping attack put maritime security back in the frame. Start with the headline. Overnight into Monday, Russia hit Kyiv with waves of ballistic missiles and drones. Confirmed by Ukrainian officials, Kyiv's military administration head, Timur Tachenko, reported casualties climbing through the morning, from an initial 7 dead to 12, and Wire reporting now puts it at 15 killed in the capital alone, roughly 90 injured citywide. Nationwide, confirmed dead stands near 22. Here's the number that matters. Every ballistic missile Russia launched hit its target. That's not vague escalation language. That's a hard metric. It means Ukraine's interception rate on ballistic threats collapsed for this wave. This lands hours after Zelensky warned Russia was preparing another mass attack, and it lands on the eve of the NATO summit in Ankara, where Zelensky and President Trump are both set to appear. Expect him to press hard for more Patriot batteries. Timing like that isn't a coincidence. That's signaling. This also isn't isolated. Russia hit Kyiv just 4 days ago on July 2nd, killing at least 21. Moscow's defense ministry called it retaliation for Ukraine's long-range strikes on Russian refineries. Refineries for rooftops. That's the rhythm right now, and it's cumulative, not random. On the ground, the picture is static. ISW's latest assessment shows Russian pushes near Borova on the Kharkiv axis failed against Ukrainian counterattacks. In Zaporizhia, Ukrainian forces cleared Primorske and gained a foothold in Plavny. Russian units are being pushed into active defense. Ukraine's deep strike campaign continues too, hitting command posts near Shakhtarsk, with battle damage confirmation that a June strike destroyed a MiG-29 and launch infrastructure at Belbek airfield in occupied Sevastopol. Bigger picture, Russian territorial gains this year average about 15 square kilometers a month versus 405 per month in 2025. The front hasn't moved much. The missiles are doing the work the ground offensive can't. Next, the Middle East. The Iran-Israel-U.S. framework from mid-June is holding at the state level, but maritime security is fraying at the edges. UK maritime trade operations confirmed a cargo vessel came under attack in the Red Sea on July 5th, southwest of Al Hudaydah, Yemen. This is single source at this stage. Treated as emerging, not confirmed. Pending damage and attribution details. No kinetic incident confirmed in the Strait of Hormuz itself, though Iranian rhetoric continues to shadow tanker traffic there. Quick hits on the rest. In Sudan, no major territorial shift in the window, but the UN's human rights chief confirmed drone strikes alone have killed over 1,000 civilians in just the first 5 months of this year. That's the story there. Not the front line, the lethality curve. And in the Indo-Pacific, Taiwan flagged rising Chinese Coast Guard and gray zone pressure today and is pushing to build a China-independent drone supply chain, a direct lesson pulled from this war. No missile launches, no live fire, no clashes confirmed in the Strait or South China Sea in the last 24 hours. Elevated, but routine. Here's what to watch. Whether Ankara produces new Patriot commitments, whether Russia follows with another retaliatory wave, confirmation on that Red Sea attack, and whether Chinese activity around Taiwan moves past gray zone pressure. That's your War Brief Daily for July 6th. No spin, no noise, just intel. I'll see you in the next brief.